Good morning, my friends. Let me ask you something right now. How do you start your day? Because the way you start your morning is the way you shape your destiny. If your mornings are filled with chaos, with doubt, with fear, your life reflects it. But if you take control of your mornings, if you decide to step into every day with energy, focus, and certainty, then you create momentum. And momentum is the force that makes you unstoppable. So today, I want to give you 10 morning mantras, 10 unshakable declarations you can say, feel, and embody every single morning. Not just words power, not just phrases fuel. These are the mantras that will rewire your state, ignite your energy, and set you on fire for the life you deserve. Let's go. Mantra A1A1Z, I am the creator of my reality. When you wake up, remind yourself you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the architect. You are the driver. Say it with force, I create my reality. That's ownership. That's power. I am the creator of my reality. These 6 words carry within them the power to completely shift the direction of your life. Too often, people wake up each day believing they are at the mercy of circumstances, luck, or other people's decisions. They blame the economy, their boss, their family, or even their past for where they are today. But the truth is, every single morning, you are handed a blank canvas. The thoughts you choose to think, the emotions you allow yourself to feel, and the actions you decide to take become the brushstrokes of your reality. When you declare that you are the creator of your reality, you reclaim the power that many people give away without even realizing it. You stop waiting for someone else to save you, and you stop hoping for a miracle that may never come. Instead, you recognize that the miracle is already within you. Life is not about what happens to you. It is about how you interpret it and what you decide to do with it. 2 people can face the exact same challenge, and one sees it as a curse while the other sees it as an opportunity to grow stronger. The only difference is the story they tell themselves, and the story you choose becomes the world you live in. Every belief you carry, every word you speak, every decision you make becomes a seed planted in the soil of your future. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, you will harvest exactly that. But if you plant seeds of courage, determination, and gratitude, you will cultivate a reality filled with progress and fulfillment. This is not some abstract idea. It is a daily practice. The way you speak to yourself in the mirror, the way you react when something doesn't go your way, the way you approach your goals, all of it adds up to the life you experience. Think about it, your mind is like a thermostat, always setting the temperature of your life. If you set it low, you will unconsciously sabotage anything that rises above it. But when you set it high, when you declare every morning that you are the one shaping your destiny, then your actions, your energy, and your decisions rise to match that standard. You begin to see possibilities where others see problems. You begin to attract solutions instead of excuses. And slowly, day by day, your outer world begins to reflect the certainty and strength you've built within. Mantra A2, today, I choose energy, passion, and purpose. Life doesn't give you energy, you generate it. Decide every morning that your energy will fuel your purpose, not your problems. Today, I choose energy, passion, and purpose. Every morning when you wake up, you have a decision to make. Will you allow the weight of yesterday, the distractions of the world, or the negativity around you to dictate how you feel, or will you take control and decide to step into the day with energy that fuels you? And energy is not something you wait for, it is something you generate. The body, the breath, the way you move, the words you speak, all these are tools you can use to create the energy you want to feel. If you drag yourself out of bed, slump your shoulders, and complain, your body and mind will follow that path. But if you get up, breathe deeply, move with intensity, and declare your focus, your body responds with power and strength. And passion is the fire that transforms ordinary days into extraordinary ones. Without passion, life feels heavy, repetitive, and meaningless. But passion does not appear out of nowhere. It is something you choose to bring into everything you do. Whether it is your work, your relationships, or your goals, when you choose to approach it with passion, you ignite a force inside you that pushes you beyond comfort and into growth. Passion elevates your energy. It influences the way people experience you, and it keeps you moving forward even when things get tough. When you choose passion in the morning and you prime yourself to see opportunity instead of burden, to feel excitement instead of dread, and to live each moment with intensity instead of passivity. Purpose is the compass that directs your energy and passion. Without purpose, energy scatters in different directions, and passion burns out quickly, and purpose gives meaning to the struggle, value to the sacrifice, and clarity to the chaos. When you wake up and connect to why you are doing what you are doing, when you remind yourself of the people you love, the goals you are striving for, and the vision you hold for your future, then everything you do carries weight. Purpose transforms the simplest actions into meaningful progress. Drinking water becomes fueling your body for greatness. Working becomes a contribution toward your bigger vision. Conversations become chances to uplift and impact others. When you combine energy, passion, and purpose, you create unstoppable momentum. Energy gives you strength, passion gives you drive, and purpose gives you direction. This is not something that just happens. It is a conscious choice, a declaration you must make every morning. Mantra 83. I am stronger than any obstacle. Obstacles aren't roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every challenge you face is preparing you for the greatness you're stepping into. I am stronger than any obstacle. Life is a constant flow of challenges, setbacks, and unexpected turns, and the truth is that no one escapes them. But the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is the belief that nothing outside of them is greater than what they carry inside. When you declare that you are stronger than any obstacle, you shift your perspective. You stop seeing difficulties as walls meant to block you, and instead you begin to view them as weights designed to build your strength. Every obstacle is a test, and with each test you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Strength is not about avoiding challenges, it is about leaning into them with certainty. The moment you say, I am stronger, your body reacts, your posture changes, and your mind sharpens. Obstacles can come in the form of fear, financial struggles, rejection, or even self-doubt. They show up to question whether you are truly committed to your goals. When you choose to respond with the belief that you are stronger, you take away their power. Suddenly, rejection becomes redirection. Fear becomes a sign that growth is near. Setbacks become setups for something greater. Imagine a mountain in front of you. At first glance, it looks impossible to climb, but as you begin to step, as you take it one move at a time, you realize the climb is building your endurance, your resilience, and your confidence. That mountain is not there to stop you. It is there to transform you. Obstacles work the same way. They force you to stretch, to adapt, to think creatively, to develop resilience. Without them, there is no growth, no depth, no real strength. Strength also comes from refusing to let your circumstances define your identity. Too many people say, this is too hard, so maybe it isn't for me. But when you know deep in your core that you are stronger than any obstacle, you shift from asking, why is this happening to me, to asking, how can I rise because of this? That single shift creates resourcefulness, creativity, and courage. The obstacle no longer looks like a dead end, but like a doorway waiting for you to push through. And with every obstacle you conquer, your belief in yourself grows, your confidence multiplies, and you realize there is nothing you cannot face. Mantra weight 4, I focus only on what I can control. Don't waste your mornings worrying about things you cannot influence. Energy flows where focus goes. Focus on your actions. Your choice is your response. I focus only on what I can control. Every day, there are countless things happening around you that you cannot influence. People's opinions, unexpected events, the past, even the future. When you waste your energy fighting battles you cannot win, you drain yourself of the very power you need to create change where it truly matters. Focusing on what you can control means reclaiming your attention, your energy, and your clarity. It means choosing to stop obsessing over the noise outside and start directing your strength inward toward the choices and actions that are within your command. Control begins with your mindset. You cannot decide how other people will treat you, but you can control the meaning you attach to their actions. You cannot dictate the economy, the weather, or the mistakes others make, but you can control your attitude, your response, and the way you show up. That's where your true power lies. The moment you accept this, life stops feeling overwhelming because you stop carrying weight that was never yours to carry. Instead of reacting with frustration, you respond with intention. Instead of drowning in problems, you focus on solutions. This principle becomes even more powerful when challenges appear. Imagine losing something important, facing rejection, or dealing with unexpected setbacks. Most people spiral into worry, anger, or blame, none of which changes the outcome. But when you remind yourself to focus only on what you can control, you shift gears instantly. You ask, what's the next step I can take? What's one action that moves me forward? That shift alone transforms paralysis into progress. Even in the smallest moments, this practice matters. If traffic is heavy, but you cannot control the cars, but you can control whether you waste the moment in frustration or use it to learn, to think, to breathe. If someone criticizes you, you cannot control their words, but you can control how you interpret them, whether you let them shrink you or use them as fuel to grow. The more you practice this, the more resilient you become because you no longer get thrown around by everything outside of you. Focusing only on what you can control creates peace of mind. It allows you to channel your energy into progress instead of resistance, into solutions instead of complaints. It builds discipline, clarity, and strength because every ounce of your focus is invested in actions that truly move your life forward. Mantra A5, gratitude is my superpower. Say out loud what you're grateful for. Gratitude transforms your state instantly. It's impossible to feel fear or anger when your heart is filled with appreciation. Gratitude is my superpower. It is one of the simplest yet most transformative practices you can bring into your life. Gratitude shifts your perspective instantly, taking your attention away from what is missing and directing it toward what is already present. When you wake up and consciously acknowledge what you are grateful for, and whether it is your health, your family, the roof over your head, or even just the breath in your lungs, you step into a state of abundance instead of scarcity. Scarcity weakens you because it keeps you chasing what you don't have. Gratitude strengthens you because it reminds you of how much you already do have. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a state you generate. The moment you say out loud what you appreciate, your body changes, your mood shifts, and your energy rises. Neuroscience has shown that when you focus on gratitude, your brain releases chemicals that improve your mood, lower stress, and open you up to creativity. That is why gratitude is a superpower. It alters your physiology and psychology in a matter of seconds. When practiced consistently, it creates a foundation of joy that is not dependent on outside circumstances. The power of gratitude lies in its ability to reframe challenges. Instead of focusing only on what went wrong, you learn to see what you gained, what you learned, or how the situation helped you grow. Gratitude doesn't mean denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to find meaning, choosing to find even the smallest spark of good, even in difficulty. When you do this, obstacles feel lighter and progress feels possible. Another secret of gratitude is that it expands what you value. The more you notice the good in your life, the more good you begin to see. It is like tuning your mind to a frequency of abundance. Suddenly, small moments like a smile from a stranger, a quiet morning, or a meal with loved ones carry weight and significance. Gratitude trains your brain to stop overlooking what matters and to celebrate it instead. This practice also strengthens relationships. When you express gratitude toward others, you elevate not only yourself, but also the people around you. You create connection, trust, and positivity that ripple outward. And gratitude fuels generosity, compassion, and resilience because when your heart is full, you naturally want to give more, create more, and live more fully. Mantra A6, I deserve success, abundance, and happiness. Don't just whisper it, command it. Too many people sabotage themselves because deep down, they don't believe they deserve more. You do. I deserve success, abundance, and happiness. Too many people sabotage their own potential because deep down, they don't believe they are worthy of more. They carry old stories, past mistakes, or limiting beliefs that whisper, "You're not enough." But worthiness is not something you earn. It is something you claim. From the moment you were born, you carried the right to live fully, to expand, to create, to experience joy. Declaring that you deserve success, abundance, and happiness is not arrogance. It is alignment with the truth that life was never meant to be lived in limitation. Success is not reserved for a chosen few. It is the result of consistent action, belief, and resilience. When you say you deserve success, you give yourself permission to step into opportunities, to take risks, and to refuse to settle for mediocrity. You stop waiting for approval, and you stop hiding from your own greatness. Success begins with a decision, the decision to see yourself as worthy of achieving it. Without that decision, even the best opportunities will slip through your hands because you won't feel capable of holding them. Abundance is a mindset before it is an outcome. You can have all the resources in the world, yet if your mind is stuck in scarcity, you will always feel poor. But when you believe you deserve abundance, you start to notice possibilities everywhere. You attract resources, connections, and ideas because you are no longer blinded by the belief that there is never enough. Abundance is not only about money, it is about health, love, opportunities, experiences, and growth. It is about realizing that life is overflowing with more than you could ever fully take in, and that you are worthy of receiving it. Happiness is not something you chase, it is something you allow. Many people postpone their happiness until they achieve a goal, buy a possession, or reach a milestone. But happiness is available in this moment if you believe you deserve it. When you wake up and say to yourself, "I deserve to be happy," you open the door to joy in the smallest details of your day. You stop making excuses for why you can't enjoy life now, and you start embracing the simple truth that happiness is your natural state. Believing you deserve happiness doesn't mean life will be free of challenges, but it means that joy will no longer be conditional. Mantra phase 7, I am relentless, I do not quit. Winners and quitters face the same pain. The difference is winners refuse to stop. This mantra will hardwire resilience into your mind. I am relentless, I do not quit. The path to any worthwhile goal is filled with moments that test your willpower, your patience, and your belief in yourself. It is easy to feel motivated at the start when excitement is high and possibilities seem endless. But motivation fades, distractions appear, and setbacks come when you least expect them. This is the point where most people stop, convincing themselves that maybe it wasn't meant to be. Relentlessness is the refusal to accept that story. It is the mindset that no matter how many obstacles stand in the way, no matter how many times you fall, you will rise and keep moving forward. Being relentless means you understand that failure is not the end, but part of the process. Every mistake carries a lesson. Every setback builds resilience, and every no gets you closer to a wise. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is rarely talent or luck. It is persistence. The relentless keep going long after the excitement is gone. They keep showing up when others have walked away. They push through the discomfort, the rejection, and in the doubt because they know that consistency eventually cracks the wall. Relentlessness is also about commitment to growth. It is not just stubbornness, it is intelligent persistence. It means adapting, learning, and finding new ways when the old ways stop working. It means refusing to let temporary obstacles define permanent outcomes. The relentless individual doesn't say, "If it doesn't work quickly, I'll stop." They say, "If it takes me a lifetime, I'll find a way." That energy becomes unstoppable because it refuses to back down. There will be days when everything feels heavy, when progress seems invisible, and when giving up feels easier than pressing on. Those are the defining moments, the ones that separate average from extraordinary. To be relentless is to hear the voice of doubt, but keep walking anyway. It is to feel fear in your chest, but take action regardless. It is to keep your vision alive in the darkest times, knowing that persistence is the bridge that turns dreams into reality. Relentlessness is not about never falling. It is about never staying down. It is about creating a standard within yourself that says, I will not quit. I will not stop. I will not settle. When that belief becomes part of your identity, nothing outside of you has the power to defeat you. Mantra 80, I am a force of good and I impact lives. Your life isn't just about you. It's about how many lives you touch, how much love you give, and the difference you make. I am a force of good and I impact lives. Every single person carries the power to influence the world around them, whether they realize it or not. The words you speak, the actions you take, the energy you bring into a room all leave an imprint. You do not need a stage, a massive audience, or a title to create impact. You create impact through how you show up in the smallest interactions, through the way you listen, encourage, and support. When you remind yourself that you are a force of good, you anchor into the truth that your presence alone can elevate someone's day, inspire hope, or give strength. Being a force of good starts with intention. It is the decision to align your life not only with personal achievement, but also with contribution. Success without contribution feels empty. Abundance without sharing feels meaningless. Real fulfillment comes when your progress doesn't stop with you but ripples outward to others. When you operate with this mindset, you stop seeing your journey as separate from the world and start seeing it as connected. Every breakthrough you have, every lesson you learn, every act of kindness you offer becomes part of a chain reaction that touches lives beyond what you can measure. Impact is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it is the smile you give to someone who needed encouragement. Sometimes it is the patience you show when others lose their temper. Sometimes it is the way you live as an example, showing discipline, resilience, and courage that silently inspire those watching you. Being a force of good means being aware that your actions are contagious and choosing to spread strength instead of negativity, love instead of fear, solutions instead of complaints. Carrying this identity also pushes you to grow. When you see yourself as someone who impacts lives, you hold yourself to a higher standard. You become more conscious of your words, your energy, and your choices because you know they don't just affect you. They affect everyone around you. You begin to ask, how can I add value today? How can I make this interaction better? How can I leave this space brighter than I found it? This awareness transforms ordinary days into opportunities for influence and ordinary people into leaders. To be a force of good is to recognize that your life is not just about what you get, but about what you give. Mantra Fe9E. Every day I grow stronger, smarter, and wiser. Progress equals happiness. As long as you're growing, you're alive. Say it until your mind believes every day I grow stronger, smarter, and wiser. Growth is the foundation of fulfillment, and progress is the fuel that keeps the human spirit alive. No matter where you are in life, you are either moving forward or falling behind, and the choice is made daily. Declaring that you grow stronger, smarter, and wiser each day shifts your focus toward progress, even in the smallest ways. It means that no day is wasted because every experience carries something that can add to your strength, your knowledge, or your wisdom. Strength is built through resistance. Just as muscles grow by pushing against weight, inner strength develops by facing challenges and refusing to back down. Every difficulty you encounter offers you the chance to become more resilient, more disciplined, and more unshakable. And each morning you remind yourself that you are growing stronger. You begin to see obstacles not as punishment, but as training grounds. You start to trust that every hardship is preparing you for greater things ahead. Becoming smarter is not about knowing everything. It is about staying curious and willing to learn. Growth comes when you ask questions, seek knowledge, and remain humble enough to realize there's always more to discover. Every book you read, every conversation you engage in, every mistake you make carries lessons. When you declare that you grow smarter each day, you open yourself to learning instead of clinging to the illusion that you already know enough. This mindset transforms life into a classroom where every experience, whether pleasant or painful, becomes an opportunity for expansion. Wisdom is deeper than knowledge. It comes from reflection, awareness, and understanding. Wisdom allows you to take the lessons of the past and apply them with clarity in the present. It teaches you patience when you want to rush, compassion when you want to judge, and perspective when you feel overwhelmed. Growing wiser each day means slowing down long enough to see the meaning behind the moments, to recognize the patterns in your life, and to make choices not just from impulse, but from depth. When you remind yourself daily that you are becoming stronger, smarter, and wiser, you shift your identity toward growth. You no longer measure success only by achievements or results, but by who you are becoming. Every step forward, no matter how small, becomes proof that you are evolving. Each day adds a new layer to your resilience, your intelligence, and your understanding, shaping you into someone who can handle more, create more, and live more fully. Mantra 9. Today, nothing can stop me. This is your final charge. Imagine your chest expanding, your fists clenched, your spirit unshakable. Say it like you mean it. Nothing can stop me today. Nothing can stop me. This declaration is a commitment to step into the day with absolute certainty and power, regardless of what lies ahead. Too often, people allow fear, doubt, or circumstances to dictate the quality of their day. They hesitate, they hold back, or they shrink when challenges arise. But when you begin your morning by saying, nothing can stop me, you set an unshakable standard. You choose to rise above obstacles instead of being buried under them. You choose to lead with determination instead of hesitation. You program your mind to find a way forward no matter what shows up. This mantra is not about denying reality or pretending the day will be easy. It is about deciding that nothing will break your spirit, nothing will take away your focus, and nothing will rob you of your drive. It's about being prepared for setbacks, knowing they will come, but refusing to let them define your direction. The moment you embody this belief, challenges stop looking like barriers and start looking like puzzles waiting to be solved. Problems lose their power because you've already decided you are bigger than anything you face. The energy of nothing can stop me changes how you carry yourself. Your body language shifts. You stand taller, breathe deeper, and move with more intensity. Your tone of voice becomes more certain. Your thoughts become sharper, more solution-oriented. Instead of saying, I hope I can handle this, you say, I will handle this. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, how do I use this to grow? That inner shift is what creates the outer results. Every great achievement in history came from people who refused to be stopped. They faced rejection, failure, ridicule, and obstacles that seemed impossible, yet they pressed forward. The difference between those who give up and those who rise is the decision to keep moving, saying, nothing can stop me. Each morning ties you to that same spirit. It creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. The more you practice it, the more unstoppable you feel, because every small victory reinforces the belief. When you start your day with this mantra, you claim ownership of your state, your actions, and your destiny. You remind yourself that fear is temporary, failure is feedback, and obstacles are stepping stones. With that mindset, every day becomes an opportunity to advance, to break limits, and to embody the unstoppable force within you. Now, here's the truth. Saying these mantras once won't change your life, but repeating them every morning with intensity, with emotion, with absolute certainty will reprogram your mind, your habits, your actions. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up, rise up. Take these mantras, speak them with power, breathe them into your body, and let the world feel your unstoppable energy. Because life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And when you step into each morning with these 10 mantras, there's no challenge too big, no dream too bold, no goal out of reach. So go out there, live with fire, live with passion, live unstoppable. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.